the opportunities that arise in the world and that succeed, everything's supply and demand. If the consumer wants quick, easy delivery at the doorstep, stress-free, not sit in traffic, not pollute the planet, whatever other reason is, then they're going to buy. But if they want the local stores and support the farmers, they'll go to local stores and support the farmers. So whatever way we look at it, change comes from the way that we as society show up. Yeah. Amazon exists because people want the convenience, the speed, and it's not going to go away. Like, this is how we want things to be. And it's going to be the same with music. It's going to be the same with books that we read. Like, we're not ultimately going to care where it came from. We're going to care, did we derive value from it? So I think if you get out the way of trying to understand like what's right, what's wrong, and look at it just through the view of what is value, how can I leverage AI to create more of it, you can start to sort of see the wood through the trees and think, well, maybe I can write better emails. Maybe I can be more consistent with my email newsletter. Maybe I can show up on YouTube because I've got 10 ideas and one of them's better than any idea I came up with myself because I took the time to use this tool to give me ideas. Maybe I go on to ChatGPT and I say, my name's John and my mission is to help, you know, folks coming up or in retirement to realize that it's not too late to upskill, reskill, create the life of their dreams, travel more, become financially, you know, better off than what they ever were even in their youth. And think, well, okay, I'm going to go and use this tool now and I'm going to say, give me 10 reasons why men between 55 and 70 would want to start a business but don't act on that desire. Boom, 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 boom. I love that idea. Right, now give me a rough YouTube video script around this idea that I can take more ideas from. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to use this tool to be creative. And what would have meant that I might do one video a month providing value to that demographic is now becoming one every 2 days because of this productivity increase. And so
just a quick interjection there. What about the normal workplace though? That's sort of slightly our world, but the normal workplace where you have those guys in the pod writing emails, responding to customers, and now the machine can take over. You don't necessarily need those people. Maybe one guy is becomes 10 times more productive than he was before AI. What about the other 9 guys?
They will be forced to rethink everything and to reskill. So, I mean, I've been noticing this long before ChatGPT and AI. You know, when I started in teaching online entrepreneurship, digital skills, upskilling, reskilling, financial self-reliance, self-sufficiency and everything else, back in, let's say 2008, I would go to these seminars and events and everybody that was there because they were moving towards gain. I want freedom, I want a better lifestyle, I want to quit the job and travel the world. And now it's becoming balanced out with, I have no choice. You know, I'm not really here for the holidays, the vacations, the fast cars, So I've put my CV in to 500 organizations, nobody's responding. You know, and so it's already happening, and it was happening before ChatGPT. COVID accelerated a lot of this, a lot of, you know, job losses. Look at what Twitter's doing and how Elon's running his company. Hang on a minute, do we really need these thousands of employees every month? Reduce. I mean, what were these people actually doing? You know, and that's only going to be exaggerated and accelerated because of AI. So, I mean, I think there is a multitude of reasons for people to upskill, reskill, rethink the traditional system in general. So, like, what would be most relevant for people with a skill set in a career or in a job is that we already know, statistically, this is very evident, that large organizations are scaling down, they're letting people go, but they are still needing work done. And they are choosing and having preference, contractors, subcontractors, individuals that can come in for particular projects or jobs. And of course, the people that are going to win those projects and jobs are those that are going to be individually most efficient. And of course, they'll be leveraging modern technology, AI. And so any role that you're in or somebody's working in would have opportunity to do that for themselves with more autonomy, freedom, flexibility, multiple clients, which means if you get fired by one, you don't need to worry about job security. If you've got 10 clients and one fires you, you just replace one. What I think is probably more relevant for the audience of people that tend to look at what we're doing is, specifically what is the greatest opportunity in front of us right now. My very early mentor helped guide me with just posing a couple of really key questions. One of the questions he asked me was, what do people come to you for advice or guidance on, like right now? And I went straight to what I did for my career and my job, and what I said was something along the lines of, well, I'm in sales, and people come to me for some advice around selling, but I don't actually want to stay in sales. That's why I'm looking for something new. So then he posed the question, well, what do friends come to advice with you for that is outside of what you do for a career? And I racked my brains. I said, well, sometimes they come and ask me how to maybe approach the girl they like, or if I've got any advice around their relationship for some reason, I have no idea why. And then he also, and this is the more important question that he posed, where I combined the two, said, well, every crisis creates opportunity. This is 2008. At this time, we're in the recession. And he said, pick up the newspapers, check out the news. Where's the opportunity? So that's what I did. And I noticed in the news that there was a huge boom in online dating. People weren't going to pubs, clubs, restaurants as much. There's this new emerging technology, which was the dating scene. And I made my first million by just taking those two questions that were posed, dating advice, relationship advice, and where the opportunity is. Now, why is that important? Why do I even share that with you? Well, I pose similar questions. Where is the opportunity? I'll tell you where the opportunity is to save too much of a headache.
Yeah. Please do.
It's self-education. Every crisis, new opportunity. Well, what is the crisis? The crisis is the traditional system is breaking. The way that we were trained in school, college, university is not relevant like it once was, and it's only becoming less relevant. So what is the alternative? It's not go back to a broken system. It's not go back to school, college, university at 50. So it's upskilling and reskilling, rethinking. And so the greatest opportunity for anybody to be involved in this crisis is to be within some form of self-education opportunity is what I would believe. Yeah. Now, I want to provide as much context here to give people a tangible solution to what I know is the biggest fear people have. Who am I? What do I have to offer? Imposter syndrome. Yeah. Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. The people 10 years ahead of me. So how would I even fit into that opportunity? Now, the obvious answer would be you could be an affiliate and you can promote other experts. That's true. But you have to ask yourself, well, how are you going to differentiate yourself from everybody else that could also do that too? And here's the answer. How do we create change in our lives when we need to create change? Well, we come up with a goal and we say, here's the goal that I'm aiming for, and I want to get healthy and fitter at 50, for example. Yep. And so what we do in today's modern world is we go on to maybe YouTube, we read some blogs, we maybe get an online coach or an online course, maybe do some workouts from home, random examples. Everything I'm saying, there's lots of new opportunity. So we set the goal, and then we go into self-education, something that is much more prevalent than it was years ago. So just think about that as a concept. Lots of change means lots of chaos. Lots of chaos means lots of people setting new goals, aiming for new solutions, looking to create opportunity for themselves. And the answer is self-education, which I keep saying. And the reason this is important is the way that you create a wave of opportunity is, as we've discussed before, leading by example. So if we look at the categories of the big areas of life that we talk about within LaunchU, health, wealth, self, and social. And let's say you've got a blank canvas and you say, I'm 50, the world is in chaos, everything is breaking down around me. What I want to do is just take a moment to reassess and look at where I am. And goal setting is a very simple process. What we need to do is that we need to take our life area, health, and then we need to go into what's called discovery. What is health for me at 50? Not what is the Instagram guru saying, not what did I think it was at 25 when I wanted to have a six-pack. What is health at 50? Well, I want to lose some weight, I want to improve my health, I want to progress in my food choices, and that's discovery. And discovery leads to what's called development. And development is self-development, and we do that through self-education. So we go online and we look at all of the different options that are available to us that are out there. And once we found the right process for us and we've got the goal and we've gone through development, that we then go into execution and we go into implementation. Changing our diet, changing our health, changing the way that we sleep. Here's what's really important that most people miss, is that is all the opportunity that you ever need to have a millionaire mindset. Why? Because we live in a world of information, and I can have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, an email newsletter, and by simply being just 1 or 2 steps ahead of those that are just behind me is all I ever need to create affiliate opportunities, JV opportunities, my first ebook, my first digital product, my first course. In other words, just simply pursuing new goals in a world of chaos, documenting it, blueprinting it. And by the way, people hear document and blueprint. You don't need to write a best-selling book. That could be a series of tweets, how I decided to get at 50. And then within that, here's some resources that I liked. This book, this course, this YouTube channel. You can make millions simply documenting and blueprinting the very process that you're in. So what we're going to see over the next 10 years in terms of just vast opportunity is a world of chaos, artificial intelligence, companies downsizing, people realizing that I need to reassess, knowing that, well, the option isn't another job. The option isn't go back to school or college. The answer is self-education. And as more people realize, and more people need to realize, that all I need to know is how to set goals, pursue those goals, go into development, discovery, and mastery, document and blueprint, leverage social media, email, newsletter, whatever else it is that you learn with digital skills.
And AI.
AI, that's everything that you need to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. Forget even millions. If you want to replace a job of 100,000, would you rather replace a job of 100,000 solving a problem by endorsing self-education in a world of chaos, pursuing meaningful goals, not having to rack your brain for topics or ideas, but realizing that actually me getting fit at 50, losing 15 pounds and going on more walks and exploring the world is actually enough in today's world to create a narrative that's interesting to those that are just a couple of steps behind me. And this is the biggest error that people have around self-esteem, and the biggest fear and barrier for people when it comes to what is known as imposter syndrome is, if you look at where even the modern day world of marketing is going, influencers as an example, the biggest companies in the world are no longer paying the biggest brands, names and followers. They're finding the people that are the most real with the most engaged. A lady came up to me, true story, a week ago in a restaurant, walks up to our table. I'm there having dinner with my partner, friends, and she comes over and she says, "Stuart, I need to come over. I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner. I need to let you know that you completely changed my family's life 5 years ago. I've now built an Instagram following for tall women that struggle to get clothing that fits, that looks cool for women over 6 foot. And I've got Marks and Spencer's paying me £1,000 a shot. I've got big brands and ASOS having me sponsor their tall women's range. And it was all because I just started an Instagram following talking about a problem that I had, which was struggling to find clothes that fit as a woman over 6 foot. That's all she did. She pursued something that was interesting, meaningful, started to put herself out there. And she isn't the next supermodel or, you know, somebody that's got 1 million followers. And so I've never been so optimistic about the alignment of what's happening right now. Chaos in the world, seemingly mainstream media. But in reality, we've got the opportunity for a whole world to rethink, reskill, self-educate. And the people that will make the money are those that simply get out of their way, document, blueprint, and share what are the useful resources, tools. They don't even need to create their own products if they don't want to.
Okay, fabulous answer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure.